Hello and welcome YouTube. Welcome to the F1 Live Qualicast. My name is Josh. You've heard me before from Demo and Garage, and you've also heard the Doctor before. He's from the Friday Night League, Esports League. How are we going today?
G'day guys, it's Dr. Aussie here, and I am pumped for this quali session coming up.
Yeah, it's a big unknown. We think maybe Ferrari's been sandbagging things come the practice sessions, which they tend to do a lot, which I don't know
How
why.
How good was Haas in FP3 there? They were a bit of a surprise.
Oh, Haas, they did a great job. I think they've really got the chassis nailed. Like they had a good one last year. They just were just unfortunate with a lot of things that happened. But yeah, that looks like Haas might be getting a bit of redemption from last season. Tommy Gore's here and James Kitchener as well. Welcome. But yeah, Haas were good. What else has surprised you since you've seen the practices?
Mate, just with what's fresh in the mind, after FP3, you have to say, the Ferrari engine is the one to have. I mean, Kimi Raikkonen's been on song all through the three practice sessions. I think he was sixth yesterday, and what did he finish in FP3? He was up there again, wasn't he?
Raikkonen. Raikkonen
Kimi
was 17th at the end of that one.
Oh, okay. I missed that then. I thought he was way up there.
Well, he was up there in two. I think even the first one as well, he was showing good pace.
And we were trying to set up our mics and whatnot during FP3, so I might have missed a few things going on there.
Yeah, we did miss a few things. We've got who have we got? Jarek as well here. Hello, guys on Facebook. Paulo as well. You might have seen this last season. Just want to let you know, they're actually this season, because of the way things are working, live timing doesn't exist for us anymore. So we can't actually show you the live timing. But if you do want to see it, I do recommend the only one that's out there is the F1.com official timing, which you do have to register for, unfortunately.
That's why they've probably shut down the other one.
Yeah, there is a free version, and you get at least the leaderboard, I think, and you get the gaps and the intervals, but all that cool stuff we had last year, it doesn't work anymore. So this is all we've got, unfortunately. But thanks for at least joining us, and let us know what you think. Let us know what who you think's going to win, what you've liked, what surprised you, because we've got about 27 minutes till the quali starts. But
Getting to answer some questions.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, well, Tommy Gore's saying Kimi is just a better driver. So yeah, he's better than who is it with him in Alpha? I've got to learn them. I think is it Giovinazzi? It is.
Yes. So we need to just see if Kimi's been out driving that car, or if the car itself is actually up to the task.
Yeah, that's true. So I think Armital here saying, with Ocon looming over Bottas in the garage, the pressure is already getting the better of him. So do you think maybe...
Do you know, I was thinking exactly the same thing. From the get-go, did you notice from FP1, the Sky cameras were already on Ocon. He was right there. He's there putting the pressure on for sure. I agree.
And what about Bottas? Do you reckon the pressure's on Bottas too much already?
Well, that's what I'm saying. With Ocon right there in the presence, it's got to be playing on his mind.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I know at the start of the season he was coming out saying he wanted to win a world championship, but I mean, if he's already under pressure in the bloody practice sessions, he hasn't got much of a hope come bloody qualifying in the race tomorrow at all. So maybe it'll rain. I think he's pretty decent in the rain because he comes from Finland, so he might like it slidey and wet.
Don't forget what he did in this session last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Turn one.
So he's just got pressure from all directions on him, because he wants the smoothest start he can have for the year. And, we all know the start he had last year. Bang.
Yeah, well, he didn't get very far. And that put him back at the back of the grid, didn't it? That yes. Crash. Yeah, it did.
And
well,
no Ocon lingering in the garage.
No, I've already seen, I think, in the some of the support races, that same corner that Bottas binned it at, doing exactly the same thing. So it's obvious. I don't know if it's a little bit bumpy there or what the case is, but it seems that it's not just him that has troubles with turn one.
Well, the Mercedes car has looked very bumpy compared to the Ferraris and the McLaren I was watching, and even Kimi, they showed a lap. And when you see the onboard from Lewis and Bottas, you can see just the oscillation in the steering wheel and the bumpiness of the camera. From the rear view coming onto the straight, you can see it really bouncing as well as they're getting the power on. So I don't know if it's just a lot more of a stiff car compared to the others this stage or what, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because it is a bumpy circuit, so they have to be careful about that. And I know the braking's quite heavy, but I don't know, turn one seems to pick up a few more people than you would think it does, because it doesn't seem like a very difficult corner. But, well, hey.
It's actually a bit more difficult than you think. It's very easy to outbrake. You saw Kimi do it in FP1. Someone else did it as well, where they just ran through the grass there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kimi went bumbling off over there, I think. Yeah, you're right. There were a few other people. But you've got, I don't know, because it's not a very long straight, but obviously I think it must be the bumps and stuff that are coming up. You've got DRS down there as well. So if we have any DRS failures, there could be a huge incident coming off into turn one, but fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But it was something we mentioned in the podcast.
It was, yes, with the DRS, you mean?
Yes, with DRS.
Yeah, well, have you noticed actually, I don't know how much of it you've been watching the practices, but remember I was telling you how the gap is 20 mil wider, but I thought it was quite noticeable when you're watching the cars. The gap does look quite larger compared to last year.
The gap, what's that gap you're talking about?
When the DRS is open.
Oh, right, yeah, no. It's really, they've really opened that gap, and the drag is a lot less than what they're used to. But yeah, that's why because I've already seen a few incidences. Last year I saw it in testing, and it was just something I never really saw coming into anything prior. So I don't know. I was just like, maybe this is something that's getting a little bit beyond its capabilities. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're always going to be pushing the limits, and they've got those, as you said, the struts and the pistons to hold them down. So I think they're probably on it now, but time will tell, I guess.
It certainly will. Now let's let everyone know who we've predicted for the end of the race, because I still got that sheet of paper here somewhere. Maybe we could pick our top 5 that it might drop first off, because Quali 1 is coming up in just about 20 minutes. And I mean, I haven't really looked at who's going to be dropping at the bottom, but I think it's safe to say that both the Williams are gone.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just be back in a second, Josh.
No, you're right, mate. So yeah, I've been watching, guys. I've been watching the thing, and I'd say the Williams are going to be gone, and I don't know, maybe Stroll. I think it might get to him a little bit. I don't know. He beat Perez once in the practice, but he suffered down in practice 3, and then probably Norris as well. That's only 4. The 5th one, I reckon it could be someone like Albon, maybe Giovinazzi. So there's my top 5 out. Let me know what you guys think as well. But interested to see. Mike Hunt on YouTube, Ferrari sandbagging or just a bad day in the office. I think they're sandbagging, Mike. I really do. I think they've got a lot more in them. I know there's a lot of you on Facebook. I'm trying to bring the Facebook chat up. You've probably seen me play around with that. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. That was our man.
You're right, mate.
Zen down on the ground, and he's going to join us for a quick chat and insights of what he's seen at the track.
Okay. Who we got? Oh, it's Zen. Zen from FNL.
Zen. That must be the fighter jets flyover right there. Can you hear us, Zen?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just that I can't switch to user on actually on loudspeaker, so it
That's
won't
all
let
right.
me. Yeah, that's all right. I can still hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you well.
So what's the scene like down there at the track side? It's bloody loud by the sounds of it.
Oh well, look, we got the air show happening at the moment, so you're going to have some F-18s flying over, dropping some fuel burn on the way.
And
You are live on air, by the way, Zen.
there we go. That's
There goes one of those F-18s.
Royal Australian Air Force at its best.
Wow, he just did an epsilon loop above us. Here he comes back again.
Just listen.
I was there last year, and they are pretty impressive, those planes, aren't they, Zen?
It's almost as thrilling as driving an F1 car.
So whereabouts have you managed to park your butt?
I'm at turn 4, on the outside of turn 4, looking at turn 3.
And
With a decent view of the run into turn 5.
do you get a sense of how bumpy the track is?
Here it's not too bad, but I think the braking zone coming into turn 3 is a little bit bumpy. We don't quite catch that on our view. And I think just after turn 5 as well, it is quite bumpy if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. And who's your pick to win it today?
I'm still going for the Ferraris. I think that the Mercs are obviously a lot closer to Ferrari than we thought in testing. That's a given. But even if the Ferraris don't get pole, I would still be wary of them. I think their long run pace on the medium tyre was pretty impressive.
And as the cars come around there at turn 4, Zen, have you noticed are the Ferraris the best looking car, like planted wise, I mean?
To be honest, here, a lot of the cars are looking pretty good, especially now that the track's evolved and got a lot more grip on it. And this is what I base my facts on. When the track didn't have grip, the Ferrari, the Merc, they all look very good, whereas everyone else, bar the Red Bull, looked a little bit tailing.
Okay. Hey, have you noticed the Mercedes at all bumpier than the other cars, like bouncing around a bit more, or not really noticeable?
Yeah, and if anything, I noticed that for example, and I've got to stop calling them Force Indias, the Racing Point guys in the car, they had a little bit of oversteer on entry, and they were always taking 2 bites of the cherry coming into the apex on turn 4. Toro Rosso was very similar. The Haas was pretty good going through there, but really in a low grip scenario, the Ferrari and the Mercs were the best, and obviously followed very closely by the Red Bulls.
So in your opinion, we're about to just resume the battle from last year, eh?
Yeah, I don't think much is going to really change in the status quo. It is debatable who is top dog, and I still do think that Ferrari have the better package off the bat, purely because of their long race, their long distance pace is pretty good. You can't discount Hamilton's. He's a fantastic driver. But what I noticed yesterday was that they were both pushing, especially Bottas. He was really pushing. He was getting pretty high on the exit of turn 4, getting a bit of curb, which can be potentially dangerous in the race if you get too much of that curb. That Pirelli wall on the left will leave an imprint.
That's right.
It certainly will.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think it is a lot closer than what testing showed us, and you've got to also take into account that when they were doing the testing at Barcelona, Barcelona is probably the smoothest racetrack in the world now after it got resurfaced a couple of years ago. Then you come here to Melbourne, and it's not your classic street circuit, but it is a street circuit. It has a lot of bumps, and it's a different beast for the guys to tune. And really, what I noticed was the lower end teams, especially the Williams, were super unstable on exit here. Really couldn't get the rear end settled.
Oh, damn, that's loud.
They are loud, aren't they?
Can you guys hearing those?
Oh,
jets?
yeah.
Are we ever?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, the Williams was terrible on. They had understeer on entry, and then they'd snap it in, and then they'd get oversteer on exit. It looked like a handful for them. It really did.
I don't know if you caught this, but in FP3, Kubica actually hit the pit wall on entry into the pit lane. Like he just understeered out into the wall. So
yes, he did.
That was Kubica. Kubica.
Yeah, and
these names right.
Kubica's got experience, so that's not so much a driver error as he's just not happy with the car, in my opinion. And you can see on both drivers, they were really. For example, I went to turns 11 and 12, the high-speed chicane for
how were the cars around there?
And the Williams, they were the slower. They looked, you could visually see that they were the slowest through there.
I forgot what I had to say.
How does livery look in real life then? Do the Williams look any better than they do on pictures and on TV?
Oh, look, the TV can never do it justice because it's the ambience, it's the visual, the smell,
yeah,
and the feel. Just can't do it justice. And when I went out there, the camera angles, though the TV guys do a really good job of capturing most of that, you can't really know it until you see it in real life.
And you can even smell that the board that rubs under the car, the titanium board, as it goes past, can't you? Especially after the Red Bull flies past you into turn 11.
I mean, you can smell the fuel burn. It doesn't smell as bubblegum as the V8s do because they're running an 85 blend ethanol. But definitely you can smell the fuel from the F1 cars, which is a distinct. It actually does smell like actually burnt bubblegum if I had to choose.
Really? Okay. I didn't notice that last year.
Burnt bubblegum. I like it.
Now I'm going to have to get some bubblegum and a lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to create your own F1 at home. Bubblegum and just light
No, that's the V8, he said.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Well, the V8s are clear, like the old sprint cars, because they're running an ethanol base. Whereas the Formula One teams have all got their own fuel blend. Each team has its own fuel supplier, and they're blending their own fuels. But it is a distinct smell.
Are there?
And I have to ask you. Sorry, Josh. I have to ask you, Zen. I know you to the Formula One for her first F1 race live. How is she finding the experience?
She's actually loving it. She was a little bit disappointed when I told her that the V8s are 30 seconds slower, but she is enjoying herself.
That's
and
awesome.
she's looking very French this weekend, if I must say so myself, in the Renault colours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's great. Oh, that brings me on to our next question. Are there more Ricciardo Red Bull shirts or Renault shirts this year around the track?
No, actually, everyone has, well, I wouldn't say everyone, but majority, 70, 80% have switched to the yellow and black.
Oh, well, I think he'll be happy about that. He'll be happy about that.
Well,
we got to go to the F1 and not offload some money.
Well, they definitely, they won't make another killing like this until the French Grand Prix, let me tell you.
True.
No, yeah, good point. Well, you got 10 minutes till the I think quali starts there, man. So we'll probably let you go and get your seat back. But thanks very much for having a chat with us here today.
No worries, boys. You're welcome, and I hope you enjoy the quali as much as we do.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Zen.
I think you've got the
Enjoy
better
the race,
seat.
brother.
Thank you, boys. I'll catch you maybe tomorrow.
All right, mate. See you later.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, that was Zen. He's one of the E drivers in the Friday Night League, which surprisingly is every Friday night. We didn't have it this Friday because we've got the Grand Prix on, but 29th of March, that's next week, can catch all the action.
He's not only one of the drivers, he's the double FNL1 champion so far. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. He is the double champion. And
he's doing a Lewis in his Mercedes.
Is it Russia you're doing next week? I can't remember.
Yeah, Russia next Friday, mate.
Right. So,
Russia, Sochi.
And you'll have a practice. You practice that on Tuesday night.
Yes, we do have an official FP1 and FP2 on Tuesday. So,
are there any spots left for people out there?
Mate, we actually have 2 spots available still. If anyone out there is interested in having a crack at the F1 series, just drop us a line, let me know, and you can come along and have a run with us in practice and join us in the league.
Yeah, it's good fun. The doctor runs
FNL1 Esports page on Facebook. You can easily find us there, or the Discord link, which Josh has got linked on the YouTube.
I've chucked it in the description on both the YouTube and Facebook things now, so it should be there. If you're watching from FNL1, it probably isn't because I think the doctor has to edit that himself. But yeah, the links are there on Demo and Garage.
I did put it in the comments. I did put it on the comments.
Oh, you did? Well, there you go.
Yep,
all the links are there everywhere you look.
Yep. Everything's there. Yep.
So yeah, we've only got 8 minutes to go. We're not too far away. While you were gone, I picked both Williams to drop, and I'm pretty sure I also picked Lando Norris with maybe Albon and I don't know who my 5th one is, but it's looking pretty close in the midfield anyway.
Yeah, well, I think the Williams are obviously pretty much guaranteed not to make it past Q3. The other 3 spots, yeah, it will be very contentious and interesting to see how it all plays out. I mean,
Stroll, actually, I think I put him in.
Well, he's actually shown a little bit of surprising pace, I have to admit, in comparison to but I guess this is when it's time to separate the boys from the men.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, he did surprise me in the practice sessions, but I think come FP3, sort of down the bottom end of the order again. So I don't know, because as the weekend progresses, you always see the cars get faster and faster and faster.
True.
I mean, we briefly talked about this prior to going on air, but I don't know why the team sandbag. I just don't see any benefit from doing that.
I agree. I mean, in some ways, don't you think it'll be better to just rub it in their face and say, listen, we're this much faster than you? But that does not seem to be the norm.
No, I agree. Like, let's say you come out on Giuliano, Vamos Vettel. So we've got a Vettel fan there. Let's say you come out FP1 and you just put everything out on the table, go quick as you can, get the quali runs done or whatever. The teams know you can do under 122s or whatever it is you happen to be doing around Melbourne. How are they going to then catch up to you in 2 days?
Exactly. It's not like they're going to be able to make all these major changes to their car or a sudden update the next day. I mean, even Mercedes can't do that.
Yeah, like none of the teams have any bases nearby Australia. We're so isolated. Everything that they've got is what they've got. I doubt they're going to be getting spares from Europe on a bloody Saturday night or Friday night. So I don't know why they do it. Europe, again, I still don't think 2 days is enough time to turn around like anything meaningful.
Is barely enough time to do anything substantial.
Exactly. So unfortunately, I just don't know why they sandbag, but it's something that the teams just, I don't know, like to do. Now, some of you are asking where you can watch this live. You can watch it, you can get the live timing anyway from f1.com. Due to the way Formula One management has decided to do things this year, we don't have the live timing. But stick along with us. We're going to sit through the whole qualifying. if you can't get to the race yourself, this is the next best place. You're going to have commentary from me and the doctor. We're going to run you through everything. We're also going to answer any questions you might have throughout the session. So, yeah, don't go anywhere because, trust me, this is going to be one interesting qualifying session, especially being the first of the year. So we're only 5 minutes away. And what are you most looking forward to come Q1?
Sorry, I was just going to say to you, unfortunately, F1 too precious and it's just too restrictive. You can't show any of the stuff live. So that's the reason. I mean, we thought we had our live timing
sorted.
Sorted, but yeah, the last minute, and we found that's been shut down by Liberty Media. So hence why we can't show it. So unfortunately, for the guys looking for something live, there's not really anywhere we can recommend other than
the F1.com. If you're
overseas, Sky F1, and F1.com.
I honestly don't know where to get any other live timing from. Even the Reddit, which has usually got a lot of information, everything's gone. It's only F1.com now. So I'm guessing over the season thing, people will come up with solutions. But
where there's a will, there's a way, isn't there?
There always is. But right now, there is absolutely nothing else. There's no alternative but the official app. So I can only direct you over there and do the right thing. And it is free. You just have to register. But I think that's the closest you'll get. But we will provide the commentary at least with the interactivity of the live stream. Yes. I'm
looking forward to most is just these cars leaving the sand in the garage when they drive out for the first time. All this sandbag talk that we've been listening to since Spain.
Ferrari's probably they've probably got sacks and sacks of sand sitting in those cars.
They're probably going to need a few, a really fast outlap just to shake all the sand out,
Exactly. I've just got a question from Carlos. He says they have a new Honda power unit. He could have stuck around another year because I think it's clear Renault is nowhere near them. I think we're talking about Red Bull and Ricciardo there. Was he impatient leaving the team? He's asked.
No.
I don't know. I don't think it was after watching the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed it in depth on our podcast, which went out last week, but in the season preview, and I think it was his only real move, to be honest. I mean, if he was still there, I think he would have been Webbered 100%.
Oh, completely. He was clearly 100%. Becoming
not even the slightest of doubts.
No, it was. I think it was all over for him at Red Bull, and it was just the way things were going. So I think he needed to leave, and I think it was the right move as well.
And he's always said, I mean, he's not expecting much from this year. It's all about next year and beyond. So I think he sees the progression or the succession plan. So they've obviously managed to convince him in that sense as well, and he's got the confidence. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I thought maybe they were just being a little bit coy and not saying much, but I have to say in the first 3 practice sessions, I am a little bit deflated. I was hoping for a bit more.
Yeah, we didn't really see a lot. And like Ricciardo and Hülkenberg had to sit out portions of it as well. So I didn't catch, was there a problem there or I didn't really?
They were just having some niggling problems. I mean, apparently they had the reserve driver, young kid, his name escapes me now. He was in with Crofty in the commentary box yesterday. And when Ricciardo couldn't get out in FP2, he said he's having some issues in the gentleman area with his seat because the seat belts apparently were too loose, or when they were tightening them up, they were too tight, I'm guessing, and they were just not in the right position. So they spent a good part of 20 minutes trying to sort it out before he was able to get out there.
Geez, that's a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't 20 minutes, it was at least 15 minutes. It took them a while, and, the camera's cutting over, the seat was out of the car, and so it was a bit of an issue in Ricciardo's gentleman area, as they put it.
Oh, there you go, gentleman area. We are so close to there. I'll do that again. We are so close to this qualifying starting here. The drivers are now just getting into their cockpits, getting all strapped in, as they say. We've got 18 minutes for qualifying 1, so we're about to see that tick down And like I said, we're going to see 5 drivers drop out here. So anyway,
the green light. 3, 2, 1, and
we're
the lane is open.
So you can see, just for your convenience at home, we've got the timer counting down for you as well. Q1, we lose 5 drivers, the slowest 5. They have a little bit of a break. I think it's 2 minutes. Come back. Clock starts again. It's 15 minutes. We lose another further 5. They go back in again, reset, and then they've got 12 minutes, the top 10 shootout, and we figure out the order for the race tomorrow. So, at the moment, I think
Norris is the first one coming out onto the track.
Yeah, Lando Norris. He's
2019.
He's one of the drivers I think is going to be gone in this session, unfortunately. But he's only young. He's only just come up from. He's only 19 as well. That's insane to think about. Like, what were you doing at 19? It wasn't driving an F1 car.
Not even close. About these coming through, they're really not having a. I guess you wouldn't call it a childhood, would you? But not a normal teenager's life. But hey, it's a dream.
No way. Thank you, Carlos, very much for subscribing to us. Means a lot. Don't forget and check out the podcast as well if you get bored once qualifying's done. It was a massive podcast, but I think
we'll try to keep them a bit shorter from here on in. But it was a season preview. We went through every driver, so we tried to cover it all. But it did kind of get a little bit away from us. And there's Kubica out on the track now as well. I keep saying Kubica.
Oh, that's what I was meant to ask Zan while we had him. Is it Kvyat or Fiat? Because I heard on the F1, if you do the highlights package on YouTube, FP2 highlights, he says Denny Fiat.
Really? So yes. He is an Italian-made car?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, so if you're just wondering what we're fighting about how you pronounce Denny Fiat or Denny Kvyat. I'm
not going to be too quick to apologise. I'm going to myself first before I apologise.
Fair enough. We've just got over 15 minutes, and that would be signs waiting to go out as we get the first car around across the start-finish line to start its quick lap right now. It's Lando Norris.
Starting. That's right, yes.
He's got his DRS open as he flicks it into one, comes off the exit curbing, and it was pretty clean through there. He activates it once again through the second zone. And
can you see what I was just talking about, the DRS gap being noticeably wider than last year?
It is. I also got to get my head around the new tyres as well. It's like soft, medium, hard, and I think the red is soft, the yellow is medium, and I think the white is hard. And that's it.
That's right.
That's all we've got. And then there's like C2, C3, C4. I haven't quite got my head around. It's the compound. I don't know. They tried to simplify it, but also made it harder at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think they've simplified it at all. I don't get what they've quite done with that. They've just confused us a bit more because for us seasoned fans, we're so used to the colours on the tyres, and it's a bit funny calling the yellow tyre a medium tyre.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have just stuck with the colours that they had prior.
Exactly, yes.
Anyway, that's what they've done.
Well, this could be the first time and only time this weekend that Lando Norris purple in all 3 sectors on the Australian Grand Prix track.
Yeah, he's just coming around 16 now. He's got the line in front of him, and it was a pretty clean exit. The time for him will be, it's going to be a one, I don't know what it is. I've got it in my timing.
A 24.654.
654, and then Kubica actually does a 126.7. Very slow there from the Williams man. Just getting a replay.
A whole 2 seconds slower than...
He screwed it through 2.
To turn 4. Was it 2, was it?
I think it's 2 or 4. I'm not too good at the track. Yeah, that was probably 3 or 4. But regardless, that's where he lost about 2 seconds as he went a little bit wide and ran over the exit curbing a little bit too much. So that's where he's at. Russell, I think, is out. Albon's on his out lap as well. So they're starting to rotate through some of the drivers, and Russell puts himself up into second. It was a 25.7, so wasn't a really... Russell needs a lot quicker to get out of Q5, I think.
Q3.
Oh, I always do this. I always call it.
I thought, geez, have we got a new qualifying set together?
Sorry. Because I was looking at the number 5, I think. Yeah, Q1. We've got a red car out. That's Vettel. And he's the first front runners, I think, here to go up against some of the drivers now. It's getting into... Yeah, that's turn 4. And the car's looking pretty clean. Looks like he's got a lot of control. He's gone purple in Sector 1 anyway, so he is up against everyone else. He's running... he's using most of the exit curbing through the corners. Coming up to turn 10, hard braking to the right. And then you got the Albert Park on your right-hand side. Plants the accelerator down the straight here. And then one of the most technical corners, I think, of the track.
This is where Zen was saying that the Williams are noticeably way slower than everyone else.
Yeah, so that's turns 11, 12, 13. And he's gone purple sector 2, but he's gone green 1, so someone else is out there beating him. And he's just coming around the last half of the track now, up into turn 15. Enters wide, gets the apex, gets the car back up to power again through the final corner. Stays off the inside curbing, line in front. And Vettel goes top with a 123.891. Let's see how long he'll stay there.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but Giovinazzi is purple per sector, 0.3 seconds ahead of Vettel. So he must have made a mistake in Sector 1, Vettel.
Yeah, might be right. I've just noticed Raikkonen's gone the top of the timing sheets with a 123.4. So he got purple Sector 2 and 3, but he's just been beaten by Albon now, who's out on track. He's just done a Sector 2 purple. But Giovinazzi's gone second.
Leclerc's gone number 1 now with a 23.326.
Yeah, 23.26. And then we've got Fiat around the corner now. He's only gone green through the final 2 sectors.
Ooh,
where's he going to put him? Line's just...
Oh, no, he's gone top.
Oh, wow.
20,
Fiat up the top.
1,
This is a really surprising run of results right now. I don't know. So we've got Leclerc in second, Vettel in 5th. And Norris is down in 7th at the moment. Albon's gone 5th fastest. But looks like the world champion himself is
both the Mercedes are out on their outlaps here. Just about to start the flying lap now for Hamilton.
Yeah, so they're probably going to stick with him. Lewis Hamilton, he goes across the timing beam, and it's away. He's our current world champion here in Formula 1. That looked a little squirrely through 1, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. He's kind of just made it through 1.
So we're right on board with him now. And he's coming up into 3 and 4. That was 3. Turns it into 4. And rides a lot of the curbing on 4 through 5. It's the right-hander again. 10 minutes left in the session. Hard braking now for turn number 6. Almost a 90 degrees to the right. Turns 8 now. Big sweeping right-hand turn. Up into 9. Another hard braking point. You can just see how bumpy the road is, as that chassis sort of just absorbs all the bumps on around Albert Park. Coming up to the technical part again, turns 11 and 12. He's just had to get around some traffic there, but he turns it in. He's only gone green Sector 2, so Hamilton's down.
Bottas has got purple in Sector 2 behind him. Bottas is 0.4 seconds up on Hamilton at the moment.
Hamilton is struggling a little bit here. He's up into turn 13 at the moment. Through up into 14. There's more traffic in front, but it shouldn't hold him up. I don't think that car was in the right spot. Anyway, through the final turn, number 16. DRS flicks open as he chases towards the start-finish line. And Hamilton...
Will he be? Yes.
Oh, he does it.
681.
122, but it's Bottas.
Bottas right behind him.
And Bottas does it. 122.658.
23 hundredths of a second ahead of Hamilton.
So that was on the soft tyre, mind you. And yeah, Bottas has beaten Hamilton here. Perez goes third quickest there, 122.9. So Perez putting in a pretty decent time. We've got the Red Bulls out too. So, I think that's been a pretty surprising run at the moment. We've only got 8 minutes left, but anything can happen.
Oh, that's Vettel now. He must be out on the softs, is he? Because the first runs for the Ferraris were on the medium.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
On the yellows, yeah. So Maybe they were trying to save some tyres and thought, geez, we're going to have to go back out.
Well, Vettel might be all right. He's up in a. He says
He
he's
just got
third.
that now.
It says, and he got that on the mediums as well.
Again. Oh, okay. Very good.
So, yeah, Vettel, yeah, you could be right there. It looks like they're preserving tyres. Leclerc's only 8th on mediums. But anyway, Hülkenberg has gone purple sector 2, but he's managed 5th fastest for now.
He's a Red Bull out on track. Who is that? Is that Verstappen?
Gasly, I think.
They're watching. No, Gasly's in 6th.
Gasly's gone 6th. Verstappen at the moment's in 7th. So there's a lot of changing up. But the track's busy. We're on board with... this will be Daniel Ricciardo. You can just see his helmet.
Can't miss that new helmet.
Oh, it looks like it's straight from an 80s movie, doesn't it? High school bloody drama movie.
I said today it looks like a graffiti that you would train back. Yeah.
Definitely. Into 1. They're going to stick with Daniel Ricciardo now. The crowd cheers as he flies past through.
That's Ricciardo's stand there that they're showing. So
Definitely.
Somewhere.
Through 3. The DRS flicks down again as he comes up into turn 4. And they always ride the curbing a lot. He keeps it within the lines there. Gets the car rotated through 5 again and plants it. You can see the aerodynamics working on the Renault. Chassis put together nicely. Whether or not Renault will perform well, we're about to find out. And here we go, coming across the hill up into turn 9. You can see the city behind him. Albert Park to his right, the lake. Oh, it looks like it's a beautiful day, I must say. Crowd cheering him on. Up into
26 degrees.
26. Well, it's raining here today in Brisbane.
Here too in Sydney.
Flicks the car violently into 11 and 12, but he gets around. That just looks like all the grip in the world.
Come on, Dan.
Daniel can do it. He's looking good. He's only gone green sectors 1 and 2. He's up into 13 now. He rides the apex into 14. It's only 15 and 16 to go. He gets the car slowed down.
This isn't going to be a bad lap, you know. Come on, Dan.
16. Again, start finish in front. He's going to cross the beam. What will it be? It's going to be pretty good.
Oh, 7th.
Seventh for now, 123.1. So Ricciardo is doing well. Magnussen next across the line there. It goes only 15th. Grosjean is going to put in a time, and it's 5th for Grosjean. So the Haas.
Oh, Perez has snuck up there into 4th with only 0.284 behind Bottas. So.
Yeah, the Perez was second there at one point.
Oh, that snuck by me.
Oh, who was this? Was that Grosjean? That we just saw a replay at 14. He went really wide on the exit curb and had two wheels on the grass there. But it didn't
going for another run now.
Didn't affect him too much.
Feeling very comfortable, the old Red Bull, so he's gone for another run.
Yeah, I was surprised at the Red Bull's pace. Well, Verstappen's been beaten by Gasly here. He's now coming into 11 and 12. This car is sitting so low.
He's not making any time. He's 200 seconds down on his own time, I think.
The car is sparking so much as he runs down to the turn 13. Wide. Yeah, wide on 13, 14. I think he's pushing it a little bit too hard. Picks up the dust on the exit curbing there. 15. I think he apex slightly early. 16 now. Or again, very wide on the exit. He's on the edge, this guy. Verstappen. What's it going to be? It's going to be
time. He's gone third.
Third,
he's gone
quickest
into the 22s with an 8.76, but Hamilton's behind him going purple in the first 2 sectors. So the time is just about to be dropped.
So yeah, there we go. This is getting really tasty at the moment. Hamilton, he's got 2 purple sectors. Sector 3. It's his final sector. He's on the final corner, and it's looking a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
This could be a really fast lap.
Oh, no, 22.043.
Oh, super close. Super close. I should be listening to the team radios. I don't know if you're doing that.
No, I'm not.
Well, what I'll do, I'll leave you with the action. I'm just going to go get my headphones because I'm going to want to listen to the team radio. I'll be able to relay that to everyone.
He hooked that lap up there, so Cedars have really... starting to show their colours now. All this sandbagging through Spain. Vettel was really angry this morning on the interviews. He was saying, these comments. Just showing the onboard now. Just going with the onboard on Hamilton going through his quick lap.
Well, I'm back. I don't think I missed too much.
Bottas has just gone purple now.
Oh, we got a new challenger up front. Bottas. Well, the interview I saw him in, he said he's only going to be fighting for the wins this year. Lee White on Facebook, welcome, and everyone else that's saying hello. For those of you asking if we're going to show the race, no, we don't have the video.
Bottas has lost it in Sector 2. He's only done a yellow, so...
Oh, that's a massive shame.
Yes. And Brian Bromley's joined us too, our very own NZ, who also drives in the FNL1 League. Apparently, they're not showing the F1 in New Zealand this year. He only just found out yesterday.
Oh, that's a shame. And then, like, F1 TV, I heard, was a little bit broken before. I think
Again? Is it?
Well, I think it was early on. I think I got told it was fixed, but it was like there was issues at the start of the broadcast today. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff for F1 to broadcast for sure.
Sorry, I was just watching the replay there of Toto. He didn't seem very impressed. Oh, that was a bit of a... Is that Grosjean? No, Magnussen. They released in front of one of the Racing Point cars out of the pit lane when he was coming out the garage. Almost an accident.
Yeah, we've had a lot of unsafe releases this weekend. Stroll's coming through, and he's currently running 17th. So, yeah, here we go. He's gone another fast lap. It was funny. I did predict, at the moment, I've picked 4 of the 5 right, which is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't have a pick, but yeah, you're doing well. I heard you say Albon. I heard you say Stroll. And who was your 5th one?
I think I picked Giovinazzi.
Okay, he's 13th at the moment. He's on an outlap as well, Giovinazzi. And
yeah, Stroll's out. He's improved on his last lap. He's gone green, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, really. And if it is,
he might get himself out.
If it is, though, I think he's going to be gone come Q2. He's getting around now. He's coming up to turn 11. He's just gone around another Toro Rosso. They're getting the blue flag. And again, got all that grip there. But the car doesn't look like it's sitting as low as, say, the Red Bull. The Red Bull at this point of the track is just sparking it up like a sparkler. But
it's that massive rake that they run. The front is always so low. It's scrapes around the track.
It is insane. He's only got 10 seconds left in the session. So if he wants to go again, he went yellow sector 2. DRS flicks open again. Stroll needs to get out of the bottom 5. And
he's jumped up to 8th.
He's gone 8th there. So his slowest sector was 2. Norris is coming around. The checkered flag has flown. And this will be...
Sainz is in the drop zone now.
This will be it. Norris.
Raikkonen.
Norris goes 3rd with that run and pushes down Sainz and Magnussen.
That's good pace, isn't it?
It's insane. Raikkonen goes 8th there. Now that means we've got Sainz, Magnussen, Albon, Russell, Kubica at the moment. Sainz goes 12th, pushes himself out.
The times are just all dropping.
Leclerc,
down.
Giovinazzi's coming. Giovinazzi goes 3rd. Fiat next across the line. He goes 4th here. Leclerc's all purples. 16th he's running currently. Leclerc, what can he do? He's going to cross the line.
He's in the drop zone, Leclerc, right now.
He needs to get out. Leclerc is
from
1st. 17th, Magnussen. What is happening? 6th for Magnussen. Russell, I can't pick this. I think we're about to see a crazy, crazy finish to this qualifying today. Russell's only 19th. Ricciardo's next.
Comes Ricciardo.
He's in the drop zone. Can he get out? Just 12th.
Drop zone just.
Albon, 18th. 9th for him.
Albon's gone 9th.
So, Raikkonen is at risk, but it's Stroll, Gasly, Sainz, Russell, and Kubica at the moment in the bottom 5.
Wow. What a finish to Q3.
Oh, my God. That was... Wow. That Leclerc topped Q1. Grosjean was Grosjean had a message there at the end. He had a message from the pit wall for him to push, but they said it was way too late, way too late. So Grosjean, where did he? I think he wasn't pushed out. 14th. Who was that? Kubica.
That was Kubica losing. I think that's turn 9, is it? Turn 9,
yeah,
10.
that's
turn
9, 10 there coming into that one. So he's hit the inside wall at 10, and you can just see a tiny fragment come out, locked up into 11.
Oh, when he hit the wall, he's got a rear puncture. That's
there
what's
we go.
happened. The tyres come off the rim.
Yeah, so
he tapped the wall out of 10.
That's what that smoke was, and then he's actually taken to the grassy area at 12. So that's what Kubica's had. He's had some problems, but Q1 has, wow, it's really put up some real questions now. Like
the biggest surprise right there is Gasly, 17th.
Right? It was that's insane. And that's a Red Bull.
That's what I'm saying. We've got Gasly 17th. That is a big shock.
And
also Norris so far ahead of Sainz. That's also great effort.
And then you've got Giovinazzi up there in 4th, but in an Alpha, mind you. Fiat, like the Toro Rossos have beaten the Red Bulls here.
They have in Q1.
Every single Toro Rosso, and I don't think that happened Q3. Once last year.
Wow. Very surprised with Gasly down there. And the other surprise, look at that. Russell is almost 2 seconds ahead of Kubica.
There was a radio message from Melbourne. They were just congratulating him on the P9, getting through to Q2, which will start very shortly.
It's a great effort.
But yeah, we did lose Stroll, Gasly, Sainz, Russell, and Kubica to remind you. But wow, what a qualifying! I've not seen a qualifying session like that for years.
Are you hearing anything on the radio from Red Bull about Gasly?
Not yet, but I will let you know if I do hear anything from Red Bull. I will see if there was anything earlier on from them. No, there wasn't. There hasn't been that much. But there was a pit lane incident involving Magnussen and Perez under investigation, which is something to keep an eye on.
That was that unsafe release that I was telling you about when they let Magnussen out in front of Perez. Yes,
that's right. Just to give you an update on the track conditions, air temp around the track's about 23 degrees. Humidity's at 70%, so that's pretty high. Pressure, 1017 megabars. We've got track temp of 38 degrees centigrade, and the wind is from the south, but it's only at 1 kilometer an hour, so that's hardly anything. But wow, guys, thanks for joining us here. Sorry we can't give you the live timing this year, but we've had an insane qualifying 1, and Q2 is I think's promised to bring about the same amount of excitement. We are Australian, Polo. GDK is asking, where's Magnussen?
G'day, mate.
Magnussen was 6th, I think, that run.
Just have a look.
Top speed this session. I'll see if I can find that information out for you. But yeah, you guys can ask away anything you want. Hopefully we can try answer it for you. And if you want to keep the party going once qualifying's over today, we've got a podcast, the Lights Out F1 podcast, available on SoundCloud and YouTube at the moment. But we're planning to get that on your Apple store, your Spotify's, and places like that. So keep an eye out on that one.
We will be improving and growing and expanding on that as we go. We've only done 1 episode under our belt so far. Stay tuned.
That's right. Just trying to find...
I was just going to say, Josh, the only other interesting thing to note out of that Q3 was that Vettel was the only one on medium tyres. He saved a set of softs.
Right.
Something to look forward to. There must be something for the race.
Unfortunately, I don't have the fastest time here.
They've changed this F1 app right around.
Oh, I hate it. Do you remember the old F1 timing app?
Yeah, it was so simple.
Yeah, it was good. And it wasn't trying to be fancy. It was just, here's the data. Anyway, annoying.
Here we go. I got the sectors here. I mean, the speed.
We got the
So
speed.
what were you after?
We wanted the fastest top speed in Q1, I think.
Well, that would be Sector 3 would be Raikkonen with a 307 kilometers per hour.
Miles per hour? No, that'd be kilometers per hour, yeah.
Kilometers per hour. And then Grosjean, so the Ferrari engines have got the balls down the straight. And then Sainz, Albon, Giovinazzi, and Perez. That's the order of the fastest times in speed in Sector 3.
There you go. The session's underway.
Here we go. Yeah, we just need to get used to using this new app. Get to the information so much quicker than what we're used to.
Hamilton's out. Stroll, by the way, was on the radio complaining about traffic. Just want to...
Of course. Oh,
he did that all last year in a car that, well, didn't really work. And now he's got a car that's fantastic. He's blaming the traffic.
Well,
they're blaming Grosjean, by the way.
Both the Ferraris are out early. We're meeting business here. The Mercs are out early. It's game on.
Game on. Neto says, good morning from the Netherlands. Good morning. Mangela's here as well. Hello. Furquan is here. Hello. A car's faster than 2018, says Mulik. I think, yeah, they're the fastest they've been, I think, this year. I just think they simplified the front wing. I don't think there was anything dramatically changed with the speeds.
Well, they were predicting that they were going to be up to 2 seconds slower, but they've already smashed last year's times. So
yeah, they have.
Well, it's the engineers, isn't it? I mean, wherever they lose, they're butts off to claw that time back in other areas. So they've simplified the front wings a lot more, but then they're wider and they're bigger. So I don't know if somehow it creates more downforce with less wash. So maybe the corner speeds might have picked up a lot more than they were last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but whatever the case is, I think the cars...
Here comes Hamilton for his first flying lap in Q2.
He is. He's just crossed the line. DRS open. 315 Ks down that front straight. Pretty quick. Gets the DRS open again, so I think that's even quicker than what we saw last year. He's currently by himself now through... Oh, he's got a lot of traffic coming up, though, as he hits 3. 4 now. There's about 2 cars in front.
Oh, he was a bit...
Toro Rosso offline. Gets around. Alfa Romeo next.
Ahead of him.
And he's coming around the track at 7. 8. Oh, in the inside of 8. That might cost him a little bit of time. But there wasn't a lot of space on road there for Hamilton to go around. Up into 9. And across 10. Where we saw Kubica hit the wall at the end of the Q1. And then charging up towards 11. And that Mercedes, it's looking low. It doesn't look as low as the Red Bull because the Red Bull just sparks. But there are some sparks kicking up. So we hit into 13. A little bit of curb on the exit there. Both the left-hand side. It's got more traffic now. It comes up to the final 2.
And he's locked up into the second last turn, just trying to feed through the traffic there.
He did. That's going to hurt Hamilton's time here. Let's see what he gets. It's a 1:20.1861 from the world champion. A quick time, but I think if that was his... Yeah, there's going to be a lot more there, I think. And this is Vettel. Vettel's about to cross it. Oh, only second. 1:21.9. So he's super close to Hamilton. Leclerc
crossing now.
Leclerc does it. 1:21.7 for the new driver. Got to be happy with that. There's Mattia Binotto watching on, the team principal.
It's a nice, confident start for Leclerc. Just a, nice confidence builder.
We just are getting asked about a tyre update. They're all currently on the soft tyre at the moment. So no one seems to be running mediums or hards. We did see the Ferraris run the mediums in Q1.
No one's tried a sneaky strategy with Q2 by the looks of it.
No, everyone's gone softs here. Hamilton, I think Hamilton's on a slow lap because he went yellow sector 1. But, yeah, Bottas jumps to the top of the timing sheet with a 1:21.2.
That's a good time, almost half a
Hülkenberg,
second ahead of Leclerc.
massive lock-up for Hülkenberg at 15. Front wheels just smoked hard, and it's going to be sixth best. 1:22.562 for Hulk. So I reckon Ricciardo can probably beat that pretty easily. But Verstappen, Perez, and Grosjean are on their outlaps right now, so expect tons from them in a few minutes' time. Blue flags getting thrown violently. Hamilton on the radio saying it wasn't a good time from him because there was too much traffic, which we all did see. So, but considering he had what he had, to get the time he did shows I think there's a hell of a lot more pace in that Mercedes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he had 2 or 3 cars at 8. He had 2 cars at turns 15, 14. Even a bit of a lock up there. And he still went under 1:22. Like,
this is Grosjean, is it?
We are watching Grosjean, yeah, I think.
Yes.
I think it is Grosjean. It's a little bit hard to see. I can't really see the helmets anymore with the halos. It's really hard to identify the driver.
Just do the color of the halo just to identify the difference in drivers. That would be so much easier for everyone.
I think the T-wings, one's yellow and one's orange.
Magnussen, 22.5. Okay, he had the yellow T-wing. So
Magnussen's yellow T-wing, we'll remember that. Gunther Steiner. He's a patient man if you've been watching the Netflix documentary. The amount of mistakes Grosjean had last season. We're on board with Grosjean now, actually. It's coming up into... that's 13. 14. Grosjean's looking all right. A lot of exit curbing on 14.
Very tricky this second last turn.
And
he's lost it just as I said that.
15. He had his wheels all crossed up trying to correct it. And that's not going to be a good time for him. Let's see what he can get.
Breaking point into 15 there, so...
That was
That
ninth.
lost him a lot of time. Yeah.
Ninth quickest.
Here's a replay right there. Yeah, the back end just stepped out on him.
Yeah, you almost took an excursion onto the grass. Car was heading straight. He wanted to turn. Perez, he's currently 15th. Will he improve? He's about to cross the line. It's ninth fastest for Perez. But, yeah, there's not a lot of radio action. I'm probably a bit jealous of the amount of radio they probably get on F1 TV. But anyway.
Max. So do you think they've taken it away from...
I don't know. Like,
it over there? I mean,
sometimes you get a lot of radio, and then sometimes you just get none. So maybe they're not really saying a lot exciting.
Ooh, Max was wide coming onto the straight there.
Oh, through 16.
People hit that wall over the...
He did that last run too.
7.12, so half a second almost off Bottas.
Yeah, so Verstappen's gone second there. Vettel's currently sitting in 5th. They're all on the soft tyre, mind you. So, again, no tricky strategy. Only the 3 compounds, soft, medium, and hard to choose from. Watching a replay, Verstappen...
He was very close to that wall. I saw that live.
He had the outside of his car well onto the AstroTurf, and there was the tiniest of air gaps between him and the wall. But he got second there, and Red Bull finally beating a Toro Rosso for the first time today. Now, Albon's in 13th, and looks like he's getting ready to take his second run. As
just answering Jeffrey, the session time countdown is... If you're new to F1, Jeffrey, it's we've got Q3 where 5 drivers get knocked out. Then we have Q2 when a further 5 drivers, the 5 slowest drivers, get knocked out. And then we have a top 10 drivers in Q1 actually going for pole position for tomorrow's race. That's how the F1 qualifying system works.
Yes. So Q3 is where it really starts to get ramped up as the top 10 fight for their spots, and the pole position is determined, and they've only got 12 minutes to do that. So they've only got think we've just got over 5 minutes left here, so there's not a lot of time left. But we've got 15 cars fighting for only 10 spots into Q3, and at the moment, it's Grosjean, Fiat, Albon, Giovinazzi, and Norris.
Dante Adams is asking what chances have Williams got to finish in the points. I'd have to say you're a very brave man if you put money on that.
Yeah, Dante, I really don't think Williams have much of a chance at all this season, unless they have a miraculous discovery which fixes all their problems. But
they do have the Mercedes engine, which is the only thing really going for them at this point in time. So if their best chance for points would be a massive pile up into turn one after the start and they get through unscathed and just be reliable to the end, or have a lot of reliability issues from the bigger teams being the first race of the year, would be their only hope of possibly snatching 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, it's a sad state of affairs with Williams, but I don't know what's going to happen there. It was something we talked about in the podcast, so if you want to dive deeper into what we think, we did mention it. But yeah, you can find that on the YouTube and SoundCloud if you want to download it.
Awesome, Jeffrey. Welcome to the best sport in the world, mate. The pinnacle of motorsport.
He just said the first season I will follow F1 after watching the Netflix series. Wow, so the Netflix series has actually brought people into the sport.
There's one person right there who's watching because of that series.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's interesting. There's something to talk about every single day, every single week. There's F1 on. Something always happens. There's always drama somewhere, and you think you've seen it all, and then something else just appears around the corner, and it's a fun time, and the racing as well. I think this year it's going to be one of the most exciting years we've had for some time.
It's the most excited I've been for a fair few years coming into a new season.
This qualifying session, I think, has been very interesting too. So I can't wait.
All the drivers are coming out now for their last runs in Q2 with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. So
yep. Sorry, they were all in the pits there. There was no one out on track running.
Just about to get hectic.
Hülkenberg on the radio, he just said, "Damn it, effed up my final sector." That's about all I heard on the radio there. But Richard Stacco, sorry, I can't read your name, Stocco, Netflix convert as well. So Richard's with us. 6:30 a.m. It's an early time to be up in the morning. Well, that's what it's almost like for us once we get to Europe. So
at the moment in the knockout zone, we've got Grosjean in 11th, Kvyat in 12th, Albon in 13th, Giovinazzi in 14th, and Norris in 15th. All these guys, all the drivers are out on the outlap now to put their final runs in, but they're the 5 that are in danger of being knocked out.
Yes, so there's 2 minutes to go, and I think they're all going to have at least 1 lap each. That's about all they've got left. And we've got a very slow-moving Red Bull, but I think he's trying to find track position here, as the track will get very busy.
Yeah, traffic is going to be an issue, that's for sure.
Here we go. This is Magnussen. It is. He's got the red helmet. So he starts his flying lap now, up into 1, and flawless.
Nicely through there.
Got it nicely done. You can just see how bumpy it is as they show us the outside camera. And he gets that gold and black livery around Albert Park.
Got a bit more gold on it, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of black on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's too black.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's got any other colours on it. But anyway, he's only gone green in Sector 1. And he's up into Turn 9. And he's got that done. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle at the back end. Hamilton has gone purple Sector 1 at the moment. So we're still following Magnussen.
Let's see how he takes 11, the fast left-hander.
Oh,
tell you what, it's pretty well hooked up, that Haas.
Yeah, that chassis looks clean as. So he's gotten through there. He's up into Turn 13. And gets a lot of the exit curbing through there. Up into Turn 14 now. Stays off the curbing through there. Doesn't lock up into 15. We've seen a lot of lock-ups today. The crowd looks on as he goes through 16. Keeps it off the outside curbing. Start-finish line with a DRS activated. It's going to be 6 for Magnussen. It pushes him up 1. But Hamilton is coming up next. And that's
21.014 for Hamilton.
21.01 for Hamilton there. Grosjean flies around fifth there. Norris, new track record for Hamilton there, by the way. Norris is ninth.
Up to 9th.
Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo.
We'll see.
He's down in 2. He might be out here.
Yeah, Gio he's
13th.
improved, but he's still 13th. He's out.
That's the checkered flag, by the way, so they can't go again. Albon is coming. So's Ricciardo. Fiat.
Kubica is out. 14th.
Ricciardo doesn't improve. He stays 11th there. Albon coming up. 15th. He's running. He pushes himself to 12. Ricciardo's out. He's been pushed down. Perez is coming. And he improves to 10th. So
where's Hülkenberg? He's in 11th now, the first man out. So he's on a lap.
Hülkenberg out-qualified Ricciardo there, but it's Hülkenberg 11th, Ricciardo 12th, Albon 13th, Giovinazzi
both the Renaults are out.
14th, and Fiat in 15th. So, yeah, you're right. Both the Renaults are out here for Daniel's home race. I know he said he's not going to be winning races, but he would have been hoping to get to Q3 at least.
Yeah, well, looking at those times right there, they're 1.5 seconds off the Mercedes, and that's quite a big gap.
1.5. That's a long. They've got a lot of way to go, but like the midfield looks considerably well matched. But yeah, you're right. Once we hit the top 3 teams, it's a big gap.
We've got 2 Hasses joining the joining the Mercedes and Ferraris in Q3. We've got a Alpha. We've got a McLaren in Q3.
That's
and
Norris,
with Norris.
Didn't expect that.
What a rookie race for him.
Yeah, I did not expect
Perez
that.
in the Racing Point in Q3 as well.
So, I gave Norris a hard time, but maybe he's got a lot more pace than I thought he did. I just didn't think he'd do it so quickly.
I'm just happy to see McLaren showing something.
Yeah, you're right. Well, then maybe that's a good omen for Williams. You know, maybe there is an end in sight for Williams if McLaren can turn it around.
Yeah, but I'd have to say, where Williams find themselves right now is probably even worse than where McLaren found themselves 4 years ago.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That was Vettel taking an excursion. What was that? The exit of turn 12. He went right through the kiddie litter. There's Gasly right there showing he's not going to be happy, is he?
Sorry, no, he's not. Sorry to leave you hanging. No, he's not. But yeah, that was Vettel. Made a big mistake there at 11.
There's a quick interview with Gasly at the moment on Sky.
Yeah, there wasn't many radio messages, unfortunately. The only one I got was Hülkenberg. Vettel coming on the radio now, actually saying he wants to check the floor, so he's just a bit concerned there might be some floor damage.
Well, he did bounce across that kiddie litter and then the grass, and that's very high speed coming out of turn 12. So
yeah, so that might have affected the Ferrari's performance. But I was also just looking over the times as well, like Bottas is only a 10th off Hamilton, but then Verstappen is 6/10, and then it's almost half a second to a second. Like a Mercedes that far ahead already.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of like there was all that sandbagging talk and all the hope that Ferrari have caught up and quite possibly passed them. But right now, here we are at the first qualifying session of 2019, and it's kind of like, oh man, they're still the fastest.
Oh, I know. Hopefully we're proven wrong. I just hope. The 12 minutes time we're proven dead wrong. Richard's asking, is Mercedes considered a German or a British team? It's a good question.
They are considered a German team, but although they are based in England, yes.
B is from the States. 2:42 a.m. for you. Second guessing Ricciardo's move to Renault. I was hoping this was going to be his year. Well, it's only the first race, but I was hoping a little bit better than that, to be honest.
Just be patient. I mean, the whole team have been saying, they're just looking to improve and consolidate for this year. I personally wanted them to take third instead of fourth, but I am a little bit deflated at this point in time, but we just got to stick with them and be patient.
Justin's asked, is there any app to watch live? The only app I know of, mate, is the F1 app for the live timing. And if you got the money, they have the F1 TV as well. So
Mulik is saying for a tyre update. I hope I said your name correctly, mate. They're all on the softs in Q2, so there's no one trying an alternate strategy or anything with the medium tyres.
Yeah, we only saw that in Q1 with the Ferraris. They tried a medium stint. I think worked for them because I think they preserved a set of softs there. But I don't know whether it's going to come into play.
Most of the teams are based in England. Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari obviously are an Italian team based in Italy, and Renault are a full-blown French team based in France. Although
in Sweden, I think.
And then who else is there? Then Williams is in England.
Yep.
Toro Rosso is also in England, are they not? Or are they...
No, I'm pretty sure they're England, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, most of them are, but with a few exceptions.
Some delayed messages coming through. Albon was complaining about traffic, but I hate it when they do this because everyone had to deal with the same amount of cars. It's just, I don't know, you just happen to catch someone at a bad spot, just deal with it. We heard Stroll complaining about traffic early on, but I think he was just trying to blame his poor performance on that rather than wanting to admit that he was a bit slow.
Do you know, a lot of these rookies that come in, I hate it when they start whinging. Even if it's a legitimate excuse, just don't put the excuse out there. Just say, sorry, I effed up. End the story.
Yeah, I'd respect that completely. Like, look, I made a mistake. I did this. We'll do better next time.
I mean, that's been Stroll's biggest problem ever since he stepped in F1. That's what's, rubbed me the wrong way. Something like
just his constant
complaining.
It, son. Yeah. Well, I think Lewis Hamilton's about to go. Got 12 minutes for Q3 here. Waiting for the tyre warmers to come off, and it's going to be a top 10 shootout here. Got Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, Grosjean, Vettel, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Norris, and Perez. That's who we've got.
And all of you guys who are new to F1 in this Q3 session, this is where it's all on the table, like everything. They max engine modes, max everything.
That's right. So the time counts down. Qualifying 3. That's just now been all updated. And yeah, Tim's asking, do we think that Mercedes is downplaying about their performance? Do you lots think that Mercedes is downplaying about their performance?
Well, it seems like that way so far, and that's what Vettel was a bit pissed off about yesterday as well after FP1 and FP2. And Mercedes have topped every session so far, so we shall wait and see in 11 minutes' time if Ferrari can stop that trend.
Yeah, it was... testing really teased us, didn't it? It sort of gave us I know we should never trust it, but it gave us a taste of like, it's going to be closer than ever, but maybe not.
The only true form that's come out of testing is the showing of McLaren. I mean, they were good and solid all the way through testing. I mean, obviously not the fastest car out there, but just solid.
Yeah, you're right. They were the only ones that... Well, they surprised us, and they've maintained that now with Norris being in Q3. The cars are getting around the circuit as we speak. I think Hamilton was first out, so Hamilton's going to... Oh, no, I think Hamilton might be one of the first cars out there, or it was the Haas. I think there's 2 Haas out just in front. So, looks like most of the cars at the moment, if they've got a teammate, they're driving in pairs here. So, Kevin Magnussen just scaring away the Pelicans there, whatever was on the track. He's in front of, I think he's giving Grosjean a bit of a pull here. So, I wonder if we'll see these guys swap once Grosjean puts his time down. But most of the guys are running in pairs here.
Richard saying that the last time he watched F1 was when Nigel Mansell was driving. Well, Nigel Mansell was one of the very first races I ever watched, Richard, and I can probably count on my hands how many I've missed since. So, welcome aboard.
Welcome indeed. It's Grosjean, Magnussen. Hamilton coming over the radio saying he's just having a bit of troubles with his right front brake, he said. So, anyway, he's up to speed now. 319 Ks. That was 2 Ks quicker.
Oh, he bounced it into turn 1, didn't he?
He certainly did. He just got it turned in. That car was jumping up and down, though. I don't know if that's going to cost him time here. He's up into 3. I think the car just doesn't look... I don't know if he's done some damage there. I thought he might have been going a little bit slow into 3. Anyway, he's continuing on now.
See how bouncy it is into there?
Oh, super bouncy in 6 and 7.
It's so rigid, that move.
He's just been beaten by Grosjean. Grosjean's gone purple. Sorry, Bottas has gone purple sector 1. Hamilton previously held that. He's up into 10 right now.
Wow, by almost 0.4 seconds too, he's gone quicker, Bottas, in sector 1. So that's a big difference.
Bottas goes purple too. So Hamilton's been beaten here as we get the run on. Hamilton's the car in front as well. And we're up into 13. I don't know if Hamilton's backed off slightly now, but he's got it all to lose here. The car just looks like it's jumping
That's what I've been telling you. I've been noticing that all weekend. It's just so bumpy, but they're getting the pace out of it.
Yeah, Grosjean, Magnussen go first and second, but it's going to be different.
The 21's Grosjean, 21.983, but here comes Hamilton over.
Hamilton goes, oh my God, by 9/10. 121.0. But Bottas does it with a 121.055. Sorry, a 125.98.
20. Wow.
Whoa. That's a new track record. I don't know if Vettel's going to get anywhere near it. He's coming up to the line himself. Vettel, what can he do? It's not going to be enough. He's 0.6 down.
125.
250 for Vettel. Leclerc's next. And he goes fourth with a 121.442. But that's a long way back from those Mercedes. They are 6 to 8 tenths off Bottas there.
After the first runnings, those Mercedes, they're not just quick. They're flying.
Oh, my God. That is insane. Like, Hamilton was 4 tenths down off Bottas's time. But at 125, that's insane. That's like 2 to 3 seconds quicker than what they're putting out in Q1 rather.
Well, Hamilton's smashed the track record in Q2, so...
Yeah, and Bottas has done the similar thing now. So Bottas...
Oh, there's Verstappen almost losing it.
That was 13, I think. Was it? Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
And coming out of 14 on the exit curbing.
Right now.
Hamilton.
This is where Hamilton turned one.
Yeah, Hamilton, I think he turned in at his turning point, but the car just it just cut across the inside exit curbing there. Oh, he bumped.
Oh, and he bounced it. He
bounced it on the apex. The car jumped up on the front, and the car just looks like, but when we're running on board, down the straights, the car just looked like it was jumping all the way down the straight, all the way down.
I think that's where it might hurt their tyres in the longer run.
Yeah, well, this track
out in the pre-quali show that he said the Ferraris seem to have good long pace runs.
Well, this track is pretty harsh on tyres.
Yeah, especially the left front.
So we just got a message from Bottas's pit crew saying he gained basically everything in the first sector, which is where Hamilton made the mistake.
I think if Hamilton hooks it right up, as we all can, there might be a 119 in this yet.
There could be.
I know it's a big call, but I can see Hamilton doing it if anyone.
Yeah, no, we thought these cars are going to be slower, and how wrong we've been proven. The cars are all back now, pushed back into the garages. It's 5 minutes to go in this session. And we're about to get everyone having a second run before the checkered flag. But welcome, everybody. And don't forget, if you want to join us once the racing's done, we've got a podcast. Lights Out F1 is the podcast. You can find it on our YouTube and search for it on SoundCloud. We'll be working on getting it on Apple and Spotify and other places in the future. But for now, the first episode's out there. Let us know what you think. We'll be improving in the future, that's for sure. But we had a lot of fun doing it on Wednesday night for the second time.
For anyone who might have already listened to the first episode, you might know. Hopefully, I already sound a bit better. I've got a new microphone, so the other one was a little bit fuzzy.
Yes.
Episode 2 will be out this Thursday with our Australian Grand Prix wrap-up and then a preview of where do we go next? Bahrain.
Bahrain, yeah. Oh, Tim's saying a 118.8. Like, no, that's insane.
Okay. 118, no. I think even a 119 is a massive stretch, Tim, but I think just judging by how much time Hamilton lost in that first sector, it's possible.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time, and all he did was hit the curb a bit too much and made the car jump.
All right, well, if we're going to have a little stab at it just before they go on their last run here, I'm going to say Hamilton puts it on pole with a 21.89. 189.
120, 189, you reckon?
There you go.
Session update for Jay. They're all just returning to the track. Both Bottas and Hamilton are on the outlaps. Grosjean, Magnussen, Norris, and Perez are on their outlaps. Raikkonen's yet to put a time in.
What's going on there? Did he stuff the lap up?
I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if they're just wanting to do the one run. Well, he's coming out now. I just saw his car exit the garage. So I don't know why they wouldn't give him 2 runs, but looks like Raikkonen's only going for the one. But they're
following his old teammate.
Those 2 Ferraris. Oh, in that orange, that looks awesome in that afternoon sun. When that light hits the paint there, that almost glows, that red. Even on TV.
I don't like it without the mission winnow on there, though.
No, it does need it.
Black.
It breaks it up a bit. I agree. Anyway, most of the cars are out there, apart from Verstappen, who was down a second. He's just leaving it now. Slow to get away, but he's in the pit lane exiting. So all the cars are out there, and tyres I think are all soft. Again, no tricky strategies. I think you'd be stupid at the moment if you did anything else.
It's too late for that, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Very slow moving Mercedes. He's trying to find the space on the track. That's the world champion, Lewis Hamilton. Is he behind Bottas this run? Because I know Bottas was in front, behind him before. Whether or not the tow works here, I don't know if it is. Anyway, there's no cars in front of Hamilton. He takes it through the last corner, and he starts his last flying lap. Here we go.
Is this the pole lap?
And I think he made it through 1 and 2 cleanly. They didn't really show it on television. Up into 3 and 4. And I don't know, the car's looking good. It just doesn't look as quick. But I'm probably going to be...
it is.
I'm going to be proven wrong once the sector times come up. Yeah, a slow-looking car's usually pretty quick. And look at that.
Just purpled it. Yep.
400s quicker than Bottas in Sector 1 through 8th. So the Mercedes is obviously planted up into 9 now. He makes it, gets the car rotated around, up across through 10, gets across next to the wall, runs through the middle of the circuit before running wide again, before turning in for 11 and 12. He's only green. He's down 4. He's lost all that time in Sector 2 that he gained in 1. He's up into 13 now. There's only 20 seconds left in the session, and Bottas is up in 1. Here we go.
Bottas is going to do this.
Bottas is purple too, but Hamilton is coming around to the final few laps. He's into 14, picks up dust on the exit. 15 now, up into 16. He gets it rotated. How wide will he run? Pretty wide. Coming up to the start-finish now. He can see it. The checkered flag flies, and Hamilton goes first. A 1:24.86 for him, but Bottas behind.
Bottas. He is flying.
He was purple all the way through. This could be a sub 120. Oh, super close.
He lost it all in the last
he was
sector.
down 2/10 in that last sector, and Hamilton's taken pole. Next is it's Vettel next. Sorry, Leclerc next. He's only gone green sector 2. He was yellow sector 1. He's down by a second, and that's 4th. Again, Ferraris, they were both... Vettel couldn't improve at all in that. He went 3rd. Raikkonen's coming up. Let's see if Raikkonen can push up, and he does into 9th. And Verstappen, a lot of the cars, look at this, getting a lot of yellow sectors in this last session.
The track evolution must be either cooling down or heating up and not getting the grip.
Now, I know halfway through we had a track temp of 38. I'll just get an update of that as Verstappen's going around, but it doesn't look like he's going to improve as he was yellow sector 1. He's up into 16 now. What will Verstappen do?
He goes so wide there on that last turn.
More dust. The air temp's actually cooler.
He's gone up to 4th.
So 1 position for Verstappen there. But I think that is all the cars now done and dusted. Session's done. Track temp's 35, so they lost 3 degrees, and that's what happened. The soft tyres just weren't as quick, but somehow the Mercedes were able to keep the temp in it because they beat their time, smashing everyone out on track by almost a second. The closest was Vettel by 7/10.
I can't believe that difference.
Oh, insane. Tim was saying it would have been a 1:20.080 lit. Oh, that was super close to a sub 120. But the orange afternoon sun glows in Melbourne, and there's a very happy Mercedes team now. Very happy Toto. So Mercedes have done it right during the development for 2019. But looks like the rest of the teams have a long way to go.
They have not just done it right. They have blown everyone out of the park in its first quali session right here.
Oh, insane. I don't know if race pace is going to be any different, but at least in qualifying, Mercedes are the ones to beat still. And that's a little bit disheartening because I thought this was going to be the end of it this year. Well, to run you through the final positions, it's going to be Hamilton on pole tomorrow with Bottas in behind. It's Vettel, Verstappen in 4th. Leclerc takes 5th. Grosjean, Magnussen, 6th and 7th there for the Haas boys. Lando Norris got 8th. Raikkonen 9th. And Perez makes up the top 10 there. But the midfield is going to be the interesting story. Actually, I think everyone but Mercedes is the midfield this year.
Yes.
Because I don't know. I think it's just Mercedes. I'm flabbergasted at their pace.
You and me both, Josh.
Oh wow. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little different Qualicast that we did today. It was interesting, but the race is tomorrow.
Enjoy the race tomorrow, guys, and catch us on Thursday when we release our episode 2 of the F1 Lights Out podcast. Yep. Sorry, Lights Out F1.
Lights Out F1.
We're still learning that.
And and then on Friday we'll have the FNL1 Esports F1 race in Russia. I'll be giving the commentary for that. Dr. Oz is driving for Haas this year, I think.
I am, yes.
So, yeah, if you're up for some esports action and more Formula One, keep an eye out for those on our Facebooks. So you can check out FNL1 Esports and Demo 1 Garage.
Jump on. And like I said, we've got 2 spots available. We race Friday nights, 9:30 p.m. we send the invites out, and we actually pit lane opens 9:45 p.m. Sydney time.
Yes. So I actually make an event on Facebook and YouTube, and it should convert it to your local time. Margaret is asking for the top three. It was Hamilton, Bottas, and Sebastian Vettel. That's your top
Just
three.
for something different.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Actually, how close was our predictions? No, actually, we were way off our podcast predictions. If you want to see what they are, go and check out the podcast.
Hang on a minute, the race isn't finished yet, so we've got to see how.
I know, but I'm just thinking, like, if the race is to finish in this position.
Oh, jeez, we know nothing.
No, we don't.
If that's it, finish like this, yeah, jeez. Well, I've got Ricciardo to finish third on the podium.
Yeah, I think that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, I did say at the time it was more hope than a prediction, but yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Enjoy the race tomorrow. Don't forget, we've got the Fantasy League as well. The code is in. It's been playing down the bottom of the screen all race, so just use that code there. Discord links in the description. You can talk to us later on. Podcast Thursday, racing on Friday, and yeah, hope to see you guys all again very soon. But enjoy the Grand Prix tomorrow.
See you all later. Enjoy the race.
All right, and that's all from me too. Goodbye.
All right, see you later. Bye.